The answers are right there in front of you. You don't have to travel far to find the answers. They are within you. You don't have to book a session with someone like me, but you can, because I'm experienced and I know what I'm doing. So you trust me, but you can trust yourself. You can trust your intuition, your own cards to find your own answers. Hello, my friends. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to acquire yourself a deck of cards, oracle cards, tarot cards, or even playing cards, and begin reading them like a pro right now. I have several decks with me, and I'm super excited to get started. So I've had many people ask me, oh, Heidi, how did you become such a good tarot reader? And boom, this is exactly how. Let's see. Death and rebirth. I shuffle the cards and I let spirit speak to whatever it is that I'm speaking about or thinking about energetically. This death and rebirth is about letting old things go, maybe what you thought you knew, putting your worthiness issues to rest, and allowing yourself to play. It's not life and death. Most people go, oh, I don't want to get the death card. Heidi, that's the first card that came out, because it's not scary. The death card is simply about the closing of a chapter and the opening of something new in your life. And that deters some people as well. So I'm glad this came out. And this one here is the star. The star is about a wish and a hope and a prayer that you have in your heart of hearts. So the deck that I'm showing you here, it is the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. So if you're interested in learning to read tarot, this deck has so much visual imagery that you can just pick it up, shuffle the card around. I got goosebumps right now already. If you don't even know how it works or if you can do it, ask spirit to step in with you, your higher self to step in with you, God, source, creator, angels, Jesus, whoever you pray to, ask them to come in and help this to be a positive experience for you so that you may find clarity as you move forward, and then allow yourself to play around. I want to pause right now and say shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. I do say this because that's my practice, but I do know that some people may have physical impairments or other preferences in which you would rather fan the cards out, right? And allow your hand to be drawn to whichever one is the right card for you, right? And trust that that is the right one. We all have our own practice. There are no wrong ways to do it. In fact, when you decide that you're going to play with cards, it's great to have an idea of how you're going to play with them. Am I going to fan the cards out? Am I going to pull one from that pile and let my hand direct me? Okay, how is this going to work? Or am I going to chop the deck until something just randomly sticks out and it seems like I need to pull it, or something flies out, flips over within the deck, or maybe I'm going to shuffle the deck and bridge it, and then chop it, whoop, 3 times. So this will be the second. Whoop. I'm not taking flippers. I'm chopping it, right? And dealing from the top, okay? So come up with your own idea of how you want to acquire the cards that are standing out in your reading or that are speaking to you in this way. Early on in my journey, as I was embracing my passion of wanting to read cards, right, but not knowing how or if I was doing it right, I decided to take my deck with me everywhere. That meant I left the box at home, and everywhere I went, if I had extra time, I brought the deck out of my purse and I shuffled it around in my hands, and I thought about things in my mind. I would just have random thoughts that occurred to me, and a card would flip out, and I would allow it to speak to my thoughts. Maybe my mind was wandering about the bills or about my family or about my spirituality, right? Spirit, what do I need to know right now? Spirit, what is it that I need to know right now? One card left in my hand here. That speaks to me as well. You will find as you energetically attune yourself to your cards that they will stick out or flip or whatever, speak to you in some way. So 4 of Swords is about rest and recuperation. So as I told you, grab a deck with great imagery, and it's pretty clear what it says. Hey girl, unplug, pull in. There is no one else on this card. She's in a little nest all by herself, tending to her heartstrings. Yes, she's literally sleeping in the fetal position. So allow yourself to read the imagery that speaks to you in exactly all the right ways so that you will understand the message that is coming across. What is this? 8 of Pentacles. Look at the moon phases here. That's about time elapsing, all the resources available. This person is about to get to work, right? And really put in the efforts to change something to get that tangible return. That's the 8 of Pentacles. Check this out. 7 of Swords. This person is sneaking around, okay? It's hooded, it's cloaked, they're dropping breadcrumbs, somebody's sounding off about it. It's pretty clear what's happening in these cards. This person very clearly, blah, I'm dissatisfied. These cups are empty here. And maybe there's something else that could be exciting, but I'm missing it because I'm looking in this direction with my blah energy. That's the Four of Cups. So it's so easy to read cards through the images. If you get yourself a great deck like this one, I don't get paid to say this, I just firmly believe it's true. Justice, justice, there you go. I bet you could read cards already. That was just one example of tarot. Now, I do have another tarot deck here that's a little different, and this is the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot by Radley Valentine. And again, how do I play with my deck? Whatever you're going to ask your deck, it's best not to go with a yes or no question. Okay, yes or no questions are not as easily discernible when you're using tarot or oracle cards, unless you decide to say something like a yes answer is a positive card, a no answer would be a negative card. But then again, it's up to your discernment whether a card is positive or negative. And if you yourself are not so neutral, it may be a little bit harder to discern that. So it's better to ask questions such as, what are the energies surrounding the patterns if I follow through in this direction, or if I pull away from this connection, job, etc., right? What are the energies? So if I say, oh, Spirit, what would it look like if I decided to embark upon this new path that I'm considering? Okay, so see how these all kind of flip? I'm going to let them go. So depending on what you have set up with your spirit team is how you'll read the cards. So these all fell from the deck. These two are face up. And I've decided with my spirit team that when they're face up, I keep them. This is something I want to embrace. When something's face down, I may not want to pay attention to that in my life as far as the message for the reading. Okay, now this is personal. This is the way I read the cards, and it's up to how the cards fall and how they make you feel. And also the predetermined decisions you have, like shuffling order, face up, face down, reversals, etc. All of that factors in when you are working with cards. Your divine spirit team knows how you're going to read them. So make sure that you've got some cards that are descriptive, that have some visual imagery. These ones actually have words on them. There are other decks that do have the meanings right smack on the front if you're interested in tarot, oracle, anything like that. So let's pick this here. I say, hey, how will it feel if I step on this new path, right? So two cards fell out. The Eight of Earth, which is interesting because we saw that over here. I shuffled it in already, that Eight of Pentacles. Same thing, Eight of Earth, education, focus, details, hard work here that's going to pay off. And the 10 of Earth, prosperity, security, tradition. So that tells me that this path might be hard work. It might be tedious, but it is definitely worth the stability and the tangible return that will come with following this path, right? Now, let's see. You guys saw me shuffle face down. Woo, okay, so what you may not need to focus on, or I may not need to focus on if I'm really focused on this area here, says the 10 of Water, family, love, and blessings. And that tells me that I may realistically need to pull away from some of that so that I can really focus on this part of building that security in my life, right? This, I need to leave in the hands and the care of others, right? I need to ask others to support these certain parts where I need to pull away from the family, from where they might need me to fill these gaps. This could also be a decision to pull the emotions away a little bit too. I can't get drawn in, friends. I can't get riled up. I've got to focus on what I'm creating here. I've got to focus on what I'm bringing into my life through my actions and my efforts. This is not an emotional decision. This is putting my feet on the pavement and putting my nose to the grindstone to make this happen in my life. And that might mean that I miss a few things or aren't able to go to a couple of outings. However, in the long run, it will benefit the life more richly, as it shows from the 8 to the 10 here. So that's how easy it can be to simply read any tarot cards if you were inclined to do so. Just grab a deck that excites you. You've got to feel inspired by the deck for it to work well with you. I've ordered decks online, got them in person, and went, not my deck, right? And I've held on to them until I've regifted to someone else or allowed it to flow into the correct hands. And that might have happened to you. So if you found a deck that doesn't really resonate with you, but it should, right? Maybe it's just not your deck. Try a different one. Try a different way. That's why I'm showing you a few here. So 3 of Air, sorrow, forgiveness, and healing. This person is very obviously crying. The swords in front are blocking from anyone coming close, right? And the angels are around this person, supporting them during their grief. 3 of Air. This is heartbreak, sorrow. You can read a lot of that heartache from the image. This is Major Arcana number 9, the Hermit. Introspection, self-discovery, and mentorship. So the Hermit is standing alone at the peak of a mountain. You see this, and all you see is the mountains that are in the distance. Very alone, very in tune with their own solitude and reflective as far as their journey and their path ahead before they emerge. See the enlightenment around the crown here, and the wings suggest divine support. The light is in the palm of this person's hand, and they can choose to descend the mountain and return once they're good and ready. There's so much that you can get. The yellows that are coming up here as far as individuality and authenticity becoming more real. Very beautiful energy. So the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot, that's this one. And believe me, all tarot decks are different. Find one that resonates with you. Now I want to dive in with a couple more possibilities for you, because maybe it's not the tarot. Maybe you're more into oracle cards. Oracle decks have no rhyme or reason, can contain any cards they want. So find one that resonates with you. I've got a couple I can share. The Spellcasting Oracle. I love this one, and I wanted to share it with you. This one is so fun. So again, how do we work with this? What do we say? You know what, Spirit? What do I need to focus on today of the greatest and highest good? That's a good one. Once a day. That's always a good one to just start your day off right. What do I need to focus on today of the greatest and highest good? You've seen it. There it is. So I'm going to disregard this. Oh my gosh. I couldn't love this more. Love. Oh my God. Thank you, Spirit. I've got goosebumps. I've got goosebumps focusing on love, like doing this video just to share with you guys how easy it is to read cards, how fulfilling it is, how fun it can be to play around and see what happens and really follow your joy and your enthusiasm if this is something that resonates with your soul. There is no harm in this. The angels, God supports us in using any tools to receive divine guidance of the greatest and highest good. I'm aligned with love and light and God, and I've had people tell me that tarot's the devil, and I'm like, you're the one with that name in your mouth. All right, I don't fool around with the devil. Look here, I love this. Finding answers. What are you doing? Finding answers. Look here, travel. I love how travel was in between the finding and the answers, the way it fell here, because the answers are right there in front of you. You don't have to travel far to find the answers. They are within you. You don't have to book a session with someone like me, but you can, because I'm experienced and I know what I'm doing. So you trust me, but you can trust yourself. You can trust your intuition, your own cards to find your own answers. Look at this. They want me to bring your attention to the beautiful bubble that is around this individual and the butterflies there. That's your hello from heaven. You know that some of you want to be in touch with your own past loved ones. There is an amazing deck to connect in that way, many decks to connect in that way. If you're still not quite sure about reading the images on the cards, about connecting with your own intuition, your own answers, you can always get a deck that has something written on it, right? So the card that you draw has a prescripted response that you can't really move around, right? So the Power of Surrender cards, I absolutely love these. Again, I don't get paid to say any of this at all. I just use these and I find them so satisfying. that I want to share them with you. Whoa, you see how that one kind of popped up in my face? That's my card. I know this because I'm a reader and I've learned this for quite some time. Spirit is also telling me that the card on the bottom of the deck is mine as well. So I'm going to sit that here. Woo, okay, let's see what they have to say to me now. Surrender to passion. Wasn't expecting that. The lady is going to blush on screen. Oh my goodness. Okay, get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. I believe that's what I'm doing with you guys right now. I love this. And here on the bottom, they wanted me to have it. Maybe it's here for you too. Surrender fear. There is no fear in any of this. It's fun. It's playful, right? Do you see how many messages I've gathered for myself just sitting here with you guys? It's fun. It's playful. Let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment. Focus on solutions and celebrate every baby step forward. And it shows this individual like punching through this ring of fire. That makes me think of like the phoenix rising from the ashes. I love, love, love this. So thank you, Spirit, for these awesome cards showing us another example of how fun it is to work on your spiritual journey with your own resonant cards. So if this is all you can grab, a regular playing card deck from the dollar store or whatever else, maybe you've got one up dusty on a shelf somewhere, take them out, shuffle them, flip them around. Did you see how that one hopped up? I'm going to keep it for us, okay? And let's see what else Spirit wants us to hear from this regular old playing card deck. Now remember, you can decide to keep the jokers in if you want, and maybe they'll mean something specific to your intuition. That's how I like to play with these cards. But also, there are no major arcana cards in the playing card deck, okay? So this is going to be our cards here. Love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so much, and you guys will too if you decide to read playing cards, tarot, oracle, whatever. I do encourage you, if you're going to read playing cards, brush up on your numerology. That will help you. And numerology, Heidi, what are you talking about? Look, it's so easy. The ace is 1. 1 is like new beginning, a fresh start, right? Something new that's just arriving, an offer that's coming in. 1, 1, 1. 2 is like 2 in co-creation. I'm co-creating with someone else. There's something else involved. I'm stepping outside of this first one. Now it's 2, okay? 3 is sometimes a third wheel situation. 3 is co-creating on a larger scale, collaboration and communication. 4 is stability. Think the 4 corners of a house, stability in your life. So 5 would be conflict, okay? Because 5th would be more than 4. 5 is more of a conflict number. 6 is the resolution after conflict or making the adjustments to move away from that. 7 is many options to be factored into the equation, okay? And 8 is the number of manifestation and transformation. 9 is the number of closing up the last loose ends of the final chapter before you actually move to the 10, which is completion, totality. Things are well-rounded and balanced in that area. Then you move to, here we go, we're in the playing card. So there are no knights in the playing card deck. We have Jack, Queen, King, okay? There's no pages in the playing card deck either. The knights are fast movement, quick happenings, movement in a certain direction, okay? Things coming in quick, information, this kind of thing. The queens are similar to what you would find in tarot, a nurturing, embodied energy of that suit, okay? Queens are more personal focused as they are found in the tarot, right? And then the king is a master, more long-term, all right? Thinking about the biggest picture. They've mastered the suit in which they're in. So that's the ace through the king in the playing card deck. But Heidi, what do you mean? Suits? How does that make any sense at all, right? So this one's easy. Hearts is the same as cups in tarot, but hearts are emotions. Okay, so this 7 is a lot of options, right? 7, a lot of happenings here. The hearts is emotions. So this would be, maybe I have a lot of options presented in front of me that I could potentially embark upon, but I've got to weigh my emotions about this before I proceed to ensure that I choose correctly. You, as a person, I say, what do we need to hear from this deck? You get to choose what resonates with you. If you want to read cards at all, which cards you'd like to tune into, which ones feel good when you're actually doing it, and which ones speak to your soul in a way that helps your spiritual growth, right? Love this. So 7 of Hearts, 7 of Cups, and Tarot. And this is the King of Spades. Spades is also swords, mental energies. The King is the master, remember? So he has his long-term plan. He's experienced. He doesn't get drawn into negativity or drama. He's very clever and mindful, patient. The King of Spades is the same as the King of Swords in Tarot. Now I'll show you here. I also have clubs. So clubs is wands. 8 is the number of manifestation, right? So the 8 of wands or the 8 of clubs speaks about fast movement, things happening, a lot of personalities potentially that could be involved, all right? The 8 of clubs can also be arrows of love. You'll find this as you begin reading cards. Now, one last one here, beautiful energies, the diamonds. The diamonds are representative of pentacles. And pentacles are money, tangible, physical, property, physical health, your home, this kind of thing. So 6, remember 6 is balance after struggle. Remember 5 is the number of struggle and conflict, and 6 is like finding resolution after that. 6 of diamonds is about fair and equal and balanced give and exchange between two parties in a physical, tangible way. So loaning money, being paid back, not over giving of your time, right? Because that's a physical resource that you have. And not allowing others to overtake from you as well, having healthy boundaries. That's what the 6 of diamonds means. So you can read cards, any cards, playing cards, tarot cards, oracle cards. They're just fun tools to use to play with your intuition, to feel closer to your higher self, to have tangible evidence of your intuition, because you might have an idea and not really trust the sense because it's easy to dismiss it or shrug it off. When you have a card that falls and there's no way that you could create that, it begins to really speak to your soul and you trust it. And you trust how fun this universe can be as you learn to play with spirit. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment. Let me know which cards you're using and how you're finding that as you're reading them. There are no wrong ways. The spirit will sometimes speak to your intuition and take you on a journey that is beautiful. So allow yourself to play around. I would love to hear from you. Subscribe to the channel. And if you want to connect with me, there are links in the description box. Much love, friends.